Yeah. Buddha Peso. Smoking mirrors uncut. Listen, it's smoking mirrors. Raw and uncut, it's smoking mirrors. You know what's up. It's smoking mirrors. Raw and uncut, it's smoking mirrors. You know what's up. Yeah. It's smoking mirrors. Raw and uncut, it's smoking mirrors. You know what's up. It's smoking mirrors. You know you hear us. Listen, smoking mirrors be the station. Them boys uncut raw, no hesitation. Just tune in, the vibes are so amazing. It's all real talk here, that's word to Jason. Shout out to Jay Lee, them boys on a mission. Gunning for the #1 spot, pay attention. Knocking out the competition, Sonny listen. In Detroit, serving game like a piston. Shot clock, jump shot, all net with a feeling. The squad set it off, cause a riot in the building. Syndicates to bed, this ain't suited for the children. And talk is cheap, when they speak, you see millions. Turn it up one time, if you looking for smoke, then pull it up online. It's right there. Look in the mirror, first glance, it's quite clear. That B-more got them scared like a nightmare. They blowing smoke to any city, take a flight there. And guaranteed to ring bells like a bike fair. Then Debo the whole set, they don't fight fair. Cause smoking mirrors gaining buzz like a light, yeah. You know? Raw on the cut, smoking mirrors, you know what's up. Smoking mirrors, raw on the cut, smoking mirrors, you know what's up. Yeah, it's smoking mirrors, raw on the cut, smoking mirrors, you know what's up. It's smoking mirrors. You know you hear us.
Yeah. Hey, remember back in the day, that group Total? You know that the single came out and you did the neck bob, but you did it backwards, not forward. That's how I feel that intro was on, man. You know what I mean? Big shouts out my boy Buddha Peso coming with that good intro. Big shouts out to my daughter with the edit. She came through like the woo.
Baby girl.
You know what I'm saying? Welcome back to another beautiful edition of Smoking Mirrors Uncut. It's your boy Detroit. Yeah. I'm here with the Kings, the regulars, my boy Jay Lee. What's up, brother?
What's good? You got me missing Brandy and Monica right now.
I ain't got you doing nothing. Just put it on your phone.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah. Look, you stuttering all like, you stuttering. B-More, what's up, homie?
Yo, what's good? You know what I mean?
Now we got two guests. We got two queens with us. We got the regular, Miss Nicole. What's good?
Good evening.
And we got the beautiful Texas gal, Cancer Mystique. What's up, girl?
Howdy.
She was thirsty. You seen her guzzling, right? You seen her guzzling.
Real quick.
She drinking? What you drinking?
The water.
That's what happens when you live. Stuff happens.
Oh, Fuji.
Killed the water.
Fiji. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta stay hydrated in this Texas heat. It's like over 100.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know we had a conversation off the mic with Cancer Mystique. She's from Texas. Texas has been going through a lot of weather. Texas, Louisiana, I believe Mississippi. They're all involved in that. How you doing down there? How's the family doing? How's everything going?
So far so good. So for the southeast kind of like coastline family that was in the hurricane, they didn't have too much damage, so that's a good thing. Like schools will be resuming, I believe, starting next week and everything. But for like, I want to say maybe southwest, southeast, so like Lake Charles and the surrounding areas, they got hit really bad with the hurricane. And so now it's just a matter of everybody picking up the pieces and trying to find a way or start the process, to like have houses rebuilt and all that stuff like that. So while we have love and support from family, that helps the journey, but the journey is just beginning. So, and I think people need to be sensitive to that. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, everyone down there, Smoking Mirrors, you guys are in our prayers. Get through it. Absolutely. Get through it. If you need anything, you always contact the fellas. Whatever we could give, we'll give. All right.
Perfect.
Miss Nicole, I know you've been working hard. You know you got your Confections by Cole. You want to shout it out? Hey, here's your opportunity. Go ahead and shout it out for the people.
Maryland, D.C., New Jersey, Delaware, that surrounding area. Confections by Cole, cakes, cupcakes, pies, candy buffets, whatever your heart's desire. Holla at me. Holla at your girl.
Yeah, that's your girl. And we always shout you out because you are a girl. We know you got a business going on, and we want people to support your business. So, so we always going to shout you out. You know what I mean? You are a girl.
Appreciate you guys. Appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what I want to get to before we start really getting into stuff, we lost a couple people these past couple days. So I would definitely like to start out with the sports end of it. We recently lost Cliff Robertson. He played for the Blazers. He went to University of UConn. He played with the Blazers for about 13 years. We lost him recently. Today, we lost one of the better college basketball coaches of all time, Mr. John, Big John Thompson Jr. We lost him today. He coached, like I said, he coached at the University of Georgetown University. He was a big influence on my life, growing up in elementary school, growing up in middle school, watching Georgetown play in the Big East. He was a big influence for me because that was the first time I ever seen a huge, influential black man control his basketball team, control the university, and control the kids that he coached. If you notice, if you look on his bench of his teams, most of his kids were African American. Most of those kids were from the inner cities, and they looked at John Thompson as a father figure. Three fun facts about John Thompson. He was the first black coach to win a Division I national championship. Big ups to him for that.
Yeah.
Also, he had the respect from his players like crazy. He also had respect from the people in the Washington, D.C. area, even the drug lords. He would go to the drug lords and tell the drug lords, leave my boys alone. And they would do it out of respect for John Thompson. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, so
tremendous. That dude was
tremendous heart.
He was the truth.
Tremendous heart. Tremendous
Smart
heart.
too.
Absolutely. Smart as a whiz. Smart as a whiz. Last but not least, when everyone turned their back on Allen Iverson, when Allen Iverson got in that stuff in high school, John never turned his back on him. Never turns back on him. And to this day, they had a great relationship. So we lost a good one. Last but not least, we lost a very influential young black actor. I got to know him from his first breakout role in the Jackie Robinson story, 42. I know he was in a couple of TV shows and TV movies, but I got to know him from that movie. He was excellent in that movie. Excellent. So, of course, he went on to make more movies, and we lost him. And it was a shock to me. Jay Lynn sent the text message out to me and B More. I was in total shock of the whole news. I thought it was fake, but turned out it was absolutely real. I would like to ask you guys, what do you think about the three people I talked about? Maybe you might not know Cliff Robinson, but at least the two of them. Give me what your thoughts about these people, and we'll go from there. Let's go with Jay Lee.
Well, I'm not as much into sports as you were, so I didn't really know too much about the other two guys.
Yeah.
But I knew they was great. I've seen them on TV and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. I didn't know all that, so it was good that you showed me that stuff about them. But as far as T'Challa though,
yeah, man. I didn't even have to say his name, right? It's just he was so powerful. Not even in the role as the Black Panther. We knew he was going to be good at that.
Yeah.
It's the other roles leading up to that. You know what I'm saying?
One of my favorite ones is Message from the King.
Message from the King.
Bruh.
Come on, man.
Yo.
Come on, man.
He's the type of actor that could transcend any role and just body it.
Yeah.
Just body it.
Yep.
And I felt as though that like he achieved so much in this short time period. And then come to find out he was sick for the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Doing these epic roles, and every role that he did really meant something.
Yeah.
So I mean, we lost a great one. That's how I feel about that.
Yep. Yep. Miss Nicole, what you got on that?
Just like Jay Lee, the sports guys, I wasn't too familiar with. I was growing up in Maryland. I was, familiar with Georgetown and the Hoyas and things like that. So, didn't quite know, his resume and things like that, but, seemed to be like a good dude. Anytime there's a loss, and that greatly impacts people, it's devastating. As far as Chadwick is concerned, that kind of was like my little cousin. It felt like, what my little cousins got, and I don't know if people are more shocked because they didn't know, or because he was so young, or because he was at the height of his career. You don't know.
It was all of those.
Right. So that was kind of devastating. I went to my daughter and I was like, "Did you hear?" She's like, "I don't want to talk about it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right." She's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, "All right, well, but it is, and prayers go out to their families, just, strength and comfort for them always.
Yeah, absolutely. Miss Cancer, what you got?
Definitely didn't know about the sports, but it's nice to know that Detroit you knew, so you gave a background and just highlighting the beautiful things they did with the time they had here. With Chadwick, I don't know if I was surprised or whatnot. I actually find empowerment in death, so I don't see it as a loss, if that makes sense. I mean, he was here, he transitioned, and I believe that energy is still alive. So I was all crazy on my IG page, like, anybody burning ancestor money? Because I'm burning ancestor money. And that's just with my belief system. So the main thing here is that we all have a purpose. We're all here for a reason. And he definitely was living in his divine purpose. He was here to inspire. And while a lot of people are very emotional about his death, and I mean, that's part of the grieving process, right? I always encourage people to do like what we're doing now. We're highlighting their contributions and we're using that to not just be inspired emotionally, but to take action. And in Black Panther, it was so great. So everybody's like, oh, we lost one, we lost one. But in Black Panther, it talked about how, we go back to the ancestors or how we can transition to the ancestral realm. And so that's what he is now. He's like an ancestor. So I'm like, I do believe that you can call on his spirit and all that stuff. I know I'm a little cuckoo kaye, but these are my beliefs. And so I was like, he served his purpose and I hope he had a peaceful transition. He is resting in power. And because he's resting in power, we need to take what he did here because most of us are stuck just physically in the physical plane. We don't really understand the spiritual plane. We take that power and we use it to continue to empower ourselves and empower our people. Because I'm just like, he did an amazing job at Black Panther. I think that was the major breaking role, right? But at the same time, did we use it? Did we use the inspiration to kind of build the Wakanda, right? So I don't believe we had a great loss. He came here to do what he did. He has transitioned, and I'm definitely learning. That's the beauty of stepping in your power because you leave a legacy. Even though he's gone, we'll still be talking about him, and that's what life is about.
Yep, I agree. Totally agree. Be more. You from that Baltimore area? You and Miss Nicole. I know you're more of a sports junkie than she is. But you know about Georgetown. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely do.
Give me some.
And my answer, honestly, is similar to yours when it comes to him. It definitely. I couldn't even tell you of another figure at that time in sports that I saw on TV as a Black man as a coach. I'm not saying that there wasn't any, but I definitely don't remember seeing anybody else. Yeah. He was very pivotal. I think you could see his strength just on the sidelines. I ain't never really heard him talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't never really listened to no speeches. I didn't even know a lot about him at that time when I was growing up watching sports. But I could still see the sternness in him just directing his players at that point. I remember, I still remember, I could picture him on the sideline just looking at somebody and pointing, you know what I mean? And you can see that he moved with purpose. I recently, before he passed away, somebody said something about him. It was a quote. You kind of caught us off guard because I wasn't ready for anything for that. But I would have said a quote. It was a quote I recently heard, probably like a month ago, and it was something about him and how good he was as a coach. But somebody said basically like as a black coach, and he responded to that like, what was that supposed to mean?
Yeah.
But I don't have the exact words here. I wish I did. But it was a good quote from him. But I'll just say it's very similar to what you said. He was the one that I saw. Obviously, we always look for positive influences on us, especially if we're looking at sports and you don't see anybody else that looks like you that's in that sport or a coach or anything like that. And he was that. So I think very similar to you when it comes to him.
Yeah.
I don't know if the second person you said in sports, I didn't really hear you on that. I was, but I will speak on Chadwick. Man, that's crazy. Like you said, Jay Lee sent us a text, and when it came across, I didn't see it right away. And then I looked at it, I was like, "What? Like, what?" I actually I know his name, and I actually had to check. Like, yo, he not talking about like the dude that played Black Panther, right? He not talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was just like, what happened? You know what I mean? Like, wow. Find out it's cancer. Like, man, I ain't even know. Then you come to find out ain't nobody know.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody know.
Yeah.
And to me, kind of like with what Cancer Mystique was saying, it's funny how the fruition of everything that you've done in life kind of culminates when you die. And people look at it and people understand your impact and what you have done. And I did the same thing. When you look at these videos of him and you look at how much poise he has and what he says and what he does and how much meaning everything had to him, you know, when he sat there on stage talking about the kids that had cancer.
Yeah.
When you think about that, he not one time did he mention that he had it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that was at the same time when he had it.
Yep.
So
he looked at them, try to encourage them.
Yep.
I don't think when he was sad, I don't think that he was sad because of him. I really think that he was sad because of those kids.
Yeah.
And what they had to go through with him already an adult, already living life to some degree. But those children already have to deal with what he's dealing with at his age.
Yep. Because he's probably thinking, look, I'm 40 years old. I've lived a good life at 40 years old. These kids have not even started their lives yet.
And
they're going through this
thing.
Yep.
You know? And I think he felt that and he meant that. What it's funny how when you look at life, this is all we have, and you make all your steps with a purpose. You know what I mean? Like you all your steps are with a purpose. And that's how I feel he was. And that's how I feel that's how I feel people should live. That's how I try to live. All your steps are with a purpose. And I felt like that's what it was for him. And I felt like he made his mark.
Absolutely.
He did what he needed to do. You know what I mean? He touched so many people. You know, you got those posts of the kids. They got all their action figures around with Black Panther laying down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm talking about all colors.
Yeah.
Not just black kids. Everybody felt that. And that's what we're talking about. I love to see things like that. You know what I mean? Like this not a racial issue, especially when we going through whatever we're going through right now. So that was epic, and I just say, yeah, he definitely lived in his purpose. And it's a shout out to anybody else, man. Live in your purpose, because you never know what tomorrow brings. You never know. Don't be afraid to do that, at least.
Yeah.
So
Yep. And I'll touch on Big John real quick, and I'll touch on Chadwick real quick. Then we'll move on. If you would look at like I said, if you look at the sidelines of a Georgetown University game, you would think you're watching it HBCU.
yep.
Every player was black. Every coach was black. The trainers were black. Everybody was black. So Big John really empowered what we stand for. Is black excellence. That's what we stand for. That's what we want. And that's what he wanted out of his kids. He knew every kid wasn't going to go to the NBA. He just wanted his kids to be good men.
Right.
Every single person to be good men and women, because he had women on his staff too. So he wanted good people to come out of his program. So he will be dearly missed. He was already missed in the basketball game, but he'll be dearly missed.
Mm-hmm.
And Chadwick, man, like I said, man, a powerful dude. 43 years old, extremely young. It almost make you think. Like, I just recently had a birthday. Everybody, pretty much, people here know.
Big ups.
You old.
I'm old, but you know what though? You know what though? And him at 43, he's done a lot at 43, right? It almost makes you think like, what have I done?
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying?
That's not true.
You can't.
But it's like you kind of look back and be like, yo, what have I done in the past 2 years?
Yeah.
4 years, 6 years.
I mean, if I had Denzel put me through college, I might have did a little bit more.
Yeah, but I'm just talking. Yeah, I'm just talking about. I'm just talking about in general, of course.
Yeah, I know.
Of course, if you had that push,
Yeah.
I'm just saying in general. You look back at some of the goals that you might have set, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, I haven't reached that goal. What am I waiting for? Why am I not trying to reach that goal? You know what I'm saying? Because life is so short.
It's short, bro.
And you never know.
Short.
You never know. So if you have goals, this for us five, and the people that are watching, I don't even know who's watching, the people that's going to watch later on. If you have goals, go and try to achieve your goals as soon as you can. As soon as you possibly can. Because you just never know when it's your time. Never know.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Big
would
up
like
the
to
champ.
chime in.
Go ahead.
I'm all for pushing people to achieve their goals, but you have to understand time is a construct, and it happens when it happens. And sometimes the goals you want to achieve, you haven't achieved them yet because you haven't been through the journey to prepare you to achieve them. And I'm learning.
Maybe.
Yeah, and I'm learning.
But that shouldn't distract you from still pushing for that goal, though.
Well, but even in waiting for that time, you're still pushing toward that goal. I think that it looks different, and that's why it's so important not to compare yourself to others, because we all come here different journeys, different time frames, different purposes, and so we live in this society where we always comparing, and that's the number one way to lose yourself and to really get distracted from your true goals. And so you definitely want to set goals, set short term, long term, whatever, but then also understand that you also have a divine plan. So sometimes the goals you set might not be in alignment with your true divine purpose, and so sometimes you get rerouted. But either way, it is just like he was a Black Panther, he was like a superhero. We're all superheroes, and it's a matter of how do we step into our own powers to be able to really exude and really be that hero, right? In this life before we transition. So I agree with you wholeheartedly. I just try to shy away from but I just try to shy away from comparison or like looking at one person and being like, oh well, what am I doing? Because the time frames are different.
Time
You might
frames may
get
be
yours
time frames may be different. Go ahead,
you
go
know,
ahead,
some
go ahead, B.
people
Go ahead, B.
I think he was more talking about the fire inside of you, not really a time frame of, hey, you need to have this now because they did it now. I think it's more of a like a lit fire. Is that fire lit in you to do what you need to do? I think more is what he's talking about.
Yeah.
I agree.
On top of that, all right, you said divine purpose. We talking spiritual here? Did we go spiritual when you
You
said
are a spiritual being having a human experience. Everything is spiritual. Everything is energy. Everything is frequency. Like
okay?
I know
Well,
people be like, "Oh, it ain't that deep." No, it is that deep.
I mean,
So,
some things ain't that deep, but
I don't know.
some things just ain't that deep. But my thing is this though. So how is your divine if we are spiritual beings, right? And we say we have a purpose, right?
Mhm.
How is our purpose different from our divine purpose if our spiritual self is part of ourselves? How is that different?
Good
Because your
question. So,
steps are ordered. Your
to be
steps are ordered,
honest,
and you are where you are supposed to be in your life right now. And it's when you go into the mix and try to divert yourself off that path of where you're supposed to go, that's when things become messed up and misconstrued, and you're trying to figure it out when you shouldn't. You're I believe that your steps are ordered. So whatever you are actually on the path of where you're supposed to be going right here, right now. So,
Okay.
and what's for you is for you. It's not for me. It's not for anybody else. It's for you. So you're on that, you're in that direction, and whatever happens is supposed to happen. Just,
Okay.
get
So
out your way. Get out your
yeah.
way.
I hear what you're
Thank you,
saying, but
Nicole.
but you didn't answer my question though.
Battle of the
Oh
sexes.
no. Okay. So to answer your question, she answered it. She did. She
She
did.
didn't answer.
But let me. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Let me say. From my perspective, I feel that she did. But to go back to what you're saying.
Let's
So
go.
technically, your divine purpose and your purpose really aren't two separate things. But when you fight the divine purpose, that's where you have the separation, and that's what Nicole is talking about. How your steps order. I'll give you an example.
I know
So
what she's
my
talking
goal.
about. I'm just saying, like the way you prefaced it was you got a purpose, then you got a divine purpose. You separated it.
Mhm,
And that was my only question. Like, hold up. If there's a divine purpose and there's a purpose, like why is that different?
mhm.
That's all I was saying. You clarified that and I get it.
And it's not. I think I tried to separate them to to make a point that even when you try to separate from the divine purpose, like there's still that divine purpose. And I know that I've just personally in my life, there were goals and there was a purpose that I thought that, oh, okay, well, hey, I want to be a math person, math, But my divine purpose, I always knew I had it all along. I just kept fighting against it. And then when I aligned, I was like, oh, well, this is truly what I wanted all along. So, like, not getting distracted by the demands of the world or what you think you have to be for others is like really tapping into your spirituality to follow that divine purpose. So, they're really one and the same, although we try to separate them. Yeah.
So I got a
We
question.
do.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
So you know there's such thing as procrastination. Do
Mm-hmm.
you feel as though if a person procrastinates, they're still going towards their divine purpose, or are they
Ooh,
missing?
that's a tricky one.
I
They,
already
they
knew where
are
he was going. I knew
fighting
where he
it.
was going with that.
I'm like,
They
let me
are
grab some
they are
water.
fighting it. They are fighting it. If they are procrastinating, they are actually fighting where they're supposed to be going, and they don't want to go that route because that route might not be glitter and gold and easy, and it might not be, the safest route. But
Mm,
so you're like, well, I'm gonna put it off. I'm not gonna do this today. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna call that lady tomorrow that I'm supposed to call, that's supposed to help me do this. So it's not the easiest way to go. So
mm.
there's gonna be some work, and normally procrastinators don't want to work. So there's gonna be some work. There's gonna be some, there's gonna be a lot of bumpiness that you're gonna have to go through, but you know, at the end of the day, or at the end of the road, your purpose is fulfilled. you know.
Okay.
So you're gonna get there regardless of how much you think you're gonna get there regardless. No matter how much you pull, cry, and turn the other way, you're gonna get to your purpose. Is that what you think? Is that what you believe?
I
You
don't
believe.
to a certain
No,
extent.
Okay,
no.
so you can miss your purpose completely, right? So if you can miss your purpose completely, right, then does that also mean that what you were saying that your steps are ordered aren't really ordered?
No, your steps are ordered. It's like I said, it's when you put your hand in it. See, we can't really have this conversation without
We
going
can,
the other way. We can't have this conversation.
we
So
can have it all day. I'm with it.
I'm
Let's
trying
go.
to steer it in another direction, but you know, when you put your hand in the pot. So let me equate this to something I know. I'm baking a cake. Cake is a science, okay? When you deviate from that recipe, you
Mhm.
switch up the whole outcome of whatever it is you're making. Unlike when you're cooking basic, your dinner or whatever, and you can tweak it, you can add this, you can add that. You can't really do that to a cake because it's like I said, it's a science and it throws off the whole order of things. So when you put your hand into your divine purpose, you kind of throw your whole order off, and you just prolong the process. Instead of just going through the steps that you're supposed to go through and take that road that you're supposed to travel, you prolong the process. So, like I said, I'm trying not to delve into.
It's so many different perspectives. I feel like you have to go with what resonates. Like for me, I believe it's still divinely ordered, but maybe you need to come here multiple lifetimes. On the other side of procrastination, there's an Indian guru that I love, Sadhguru, and he talks about like if you're procrastinating, it's probably because you're doing something that you probably really don't want to do. So there's so many different perspectives. But just finding what resonates and what works with you in this lifetime, like it's not really a right or wrong, if that makes sense. It's more of a what is your
What you
ultimate
believe? Yeah. What do you believe? That's all. Because you can go round and round on that all day.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
We got it all out of us. We good.
Yeah.
Good.
Everybody,
We good.
everybody
We good.
good.
We
Good.
good.
I'm still thinking about Brandy and Monica.
I'm about to
What?
say, speaking of good, we had a good verses going on tonight. We
Yeah.
had some
Yeah.
procrastination going on. It was 15 minutes late. You know what I'm saying?
I, I,
Had
I,
me waiting.
I was feeling good, man.
So I mean, you guys watched the first half of it. We normally talk about music once in a while in this podcast. So who was your winner in the first half, Jay? You got that screw face going on. Who was your winner in the first half? Then I'm gonna let
Ain't,
Confections by Cole chime in,
ain't
and then we're
nobody
gonna
trying
go.
to play
Let's
with
go.
y'all, yo. I'm down for Brandy, yo. That's
Okay.
it. That's it, yo. I mean, yo, no disrespect to Monica. No
She won the
disrespect to
first.
her.
She won the
Her
first 10.
No, I didn't feel yo. I didn't
Right.
know.
Brandy won the first 10.
I think it was a good mixture. I think it was a good mixture. But
So
but
you telling
Brandy, but look, Brandy got so many hits. She gonna wait to smack you at the end. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
Like, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah.
She been in the game too long, bro.
Yeah. My bad. Yeah, she's been in the game too long. Go ahead.
Confections.
L.
Come on,
I mean,
Confections. Come on, Confections.
Team Monica, from the outfit to the poise
Talk about
to the
clothes.
team.
oh,
Let me tell you something. Brandy may have the hit
what?
vocally, hands down. Monica beats her, hands down, vocally. Brandy is a performer.
I don't even know if she got the hits over top of her. Really?
She's a performer, and there's a difference. There's a difference, and she has hits, she has movies, she has TV shows, but lyrically, Monica beats her hands down. And every song that Monica played lyrically annihilated her. I'm sorry.
So she got some songs that really hit home to you, huh? That's what it is. That's what it is. When she was home crying on that phone,
yes,
Monica was talking to her. That's what it was. Okay.
yes.
All right. Enough said. Say less. Say less.
So Cancer, were you watching the versus battle?
I was not.
Oh goodness.
That's why she was over there flipping her hair when we started talking about it. She was like, I don't
I need
know.
to take these pins out. They're giving me a
I don't know
headache.
nothing about this.
Yeah. All right. So Jay, you were talking to her a little earlier about the versus battle. What was you talking about? What was you getting
I
at?
mean, I just said that. Honestly, I said that it's good to watch the versus battle because it's part of our culture. They bring it back people that we enjoyed watching, that we grew up with watching, and love their music, and bring them together. And they socializing, they vibing, they having a good time, stuff like that. But that's why I enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yo, look, people kicking Brandy back
Yeah.
in. Really though, Edward. Really though, Edward. Moesha. He ain't lying though. He ain't
I know
lying.
y'all heard it.
He
She
ain't
was
lying.
sitting
He ain't
down.
lying.
She was still out of breath, bro.
Yeah.
She was sitting down. She was still out of breath. She was like,
Yeah. So Cancer. I'm curious now. What type of music do you listen to?
What you mean?
what kind of music?
I
you listen to?
listen. I literally listen to all kind of music. Rap, R&B, jazz is
Okay.
my favorite. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll
Okay.
find me like I listen to indie, pop, I listen to all kind of stuff. Rock, heavy metal.
You listen to K-pop?
Yo, I was getting ready to ask you that.
Got going around.
Nah.
But I listen to country, I listen to Zydeco. Like I really like my
You
friends
from
would be like,
Texas.
your list is very diverse. I'm like, yeah. I love music, but I'm also more of a person where I love groups that actually still play their instruments. So yeah, it's not like just studio. Like so, yeah. And me, if there's a live band of any kind, I am
Oh,
there.
I love live bands,
Love,
definitely.
Well,
love.
you're a mental person anyway.
Huh?
You're a mental person anyway.
Yeah, I need music that
So,
stimulates
so,
the brain.
so you can't just have one genre of music stimulate your mind. You need to listen to other stuff. I understand that because I'm the same way. I can pretty much listen to anything as long as it's has shows some type of skill, some type of artistry or something like that. Only thing I can't listen to is that real heavy metal stuff where they just scream. Can't do that.
Oh, you just gotta read the lyrics, then you can hear. But yeah, but no, I like a lot of I love like just because every I also listen to Punjabi, which is Indian music. I listen to all kinds of music. Yeah, because every music is unique. And so I just like to appreciate the art of each one. I'm sorry, I'm looking off because my cat is staring at me. I think he mad at me because I'm not paying him no attention.
You about to get the skippity paps. Shout out to Tony Baby.
Oh, for sure. That's my dude.
Yeah.
So B, what's your who won the first 10, B?
Man, I don't know. I wasn't really watching. That ain't really my thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not even.
I forgot.
Yo, you know he into all the slow jams.
I forgot.
I know their songs.
My
Don't
bad.
get me wrong. They played on the radio. I know their songs. Some of them I feel are classics. I'm like, yo, that was the joint right there. But I didn't like literally. Oh, this song is better. Nah.
That's why I was when I heard Broken Hearted, yo. I don't even think I was in a relationship, but I was broken hearted listening to it, yo. It was just deep,
Down.
man.
I'm not even about to get into that with you, bro.
No.
Exactly. I'm
In the room. Okay.
like this guy, yo. I told you, man.
What? I need love to be broken hearted.
This guy, man.
It was intense, man. It was intense.
I'm not mad at you because I ain't gonna lie. I'm stuck in the 90s. Like I'm strictly everything I listen to, gospel, not so much heavy metal, but rock. Everything it's old. It's not the only newer stuff I listen to is neo soul. I'm a big neo soul fan. So my newer stuff is neo soul, but everything else, my daughter says all the time, "My your playlist sucks." And I'm like, no, my playlist rocks. Like you don't know, my playlist is awesome.
What about your clothes? You keep your clothes in the 90s too, or you?
No,
No, I'm just wondering. I'm just
no.
making.
I grew up in Baltimore in the '90s. It was big hair and baggy clothes. No,
What slouch socks and
I had some slouch socks and some tree torns, and I had different colors. I had them blue and black, and yeah, I did that.
remember the pacifiers? Remember that came through?
Huh? Say that
The
again.
pacifiers when people was rocking pacifiers.
No, I didn't have.
Oh my goodness! You talk
Who was,
about
wait, who was rocking pacifiers?
You don't remember people walking around with pacifiers in their mouth?
when what's that movie, yo? Boys in the Hood.
No, don't be a menace.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Don't Be a Minute.
No, Boys in the Hood. It was
that
Boys
was
in the Hood
it was Boys in the Hood.
because what's
Okay.
the name had the pacifier on the
Was
wheelchair.
it was Chris, right? Little Chris. Was it Little Chris?
Yeah.
I think his name
And
was
then
Little
people
Chris.
started rocking pacifiers, and then it was a fad. Like everybody was rocking them joints. I was like, what?
No.
No, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's crazy.
It was crazy.
Oh, man.
So I had originally, invited the ladies on because I wanted to battle the sexes, and I think we was talking off air, and Cancer checked me. She was like, "It shouldn't be a battle. It shouldn't be a battle." Why do you say that?
Why not?
Why not?
I get the idea between the battle, but we really have to understand that naturally men and women are like two halves of a whole. So it's a matter of understanding the halves to bring the whole picture together. And so it's so funny because like for us as women, and I know this personally because I went through this. My first real relationship, like I married him, and so I was always complaining. And one of my friends was like, "You need to read women are from Venus, men are from Mars," and that really helped me to see that it's not that. How do I say? It's not what I communicate; it's how I communicate. And so I had to learn how he is wired, and also too you have to understand the dominant energy of the man. You have some men that are feminine dominant. You have some men that are masculine dominant. You have some women that are feminine dominant. You have some women that are masculine dominant. And depending on their domination is how they're going to really communicate. So I was like, oh, I just feel like I'm talking in circles and he's not listening to me. And then I had to understand, oh no, you need to communicate in a way that he understands and understand that he is a man and not just trying to stereotype it, right? Every man is different in a sense, right? But there are some like I guess like basic common factors. So we talk about the battle of the sexes, and when we do the battle of the sexes, it's really us just really kind of like yelling at each other, but we're not really communicating, kind of thing. And when I say yelling, I don't mean like really yelling. It's like we're just shouting out, right? It's more of a I want you to see my perspective. No, I want you to see my perspective. Instead of us actually like just really coming together and understanding that the key to really coming together for a harmonious type of
So
relationship is
your
communication.
problem is the word battle.
Yeah,
That's basically what I'm getting.
thank
So,
you, B. Well, I don't even want to say okay, yes, because the connotation. Every time I've gone to a battle of the sexes, it's like rah 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 rah. So I'm like,
but that's, that's not what we do. You know that's not what we do. We thoughtful. You know what I mean? You know we listen to one another. You know we respect the ladies. We listen to y'all.
Definitely. I just wanted to be constructive.
Always. That's what we do on here.
I'm like,
That's what we do. But
Why-
I do need
Go
to
ahead.
know what a feminine dominant.
Yeah.
I need to know what that is. I don't get that right there.
Break that down for a brother real quick.
it's about it's really about the strengths. There's like a whole list, so I'm not gonna remember that whole list. But
Give us one example of a
just give us
one example.
okay, one example. Okay, so intuition is a feminine trait. Logic is a man's trait. Not a man's, a masculine. Yeah. I'm talking about energy.
Intuition is a feminine trait.
Intuition is a feminine
Who
energy.
says that?
Who said that?
Yeah, who said that?
This is how things have been classified, okay? But wait. Okay, so let me just give that example. But I know
Okay.
some men that are very, very intuitive.
Okay.
You know, you've heard it's just women's intuition. It's just women's intuition. We trust our intuition. So that has been given to like a feminine trait. But I know some men that are very, very intuitive and some women that are very, very logic based. Or okay, let's do the famous one. Feminine trait, emotional. Hands down. Nah, women just emotional. That was feminine. Okay. Men men's like, oh well, we're not emotional. We're I don't know if I want to say logic. How do I want to say it? You're not
that works.
I mean, I know one man who's emotional. I mean, he's been called Carl Thomas quite a few times. Wait, I mean, they called that quite a few times.
I'll own it. I'll own it.
So you have these different traits that are categorized as feminine energy and masculine energy, and it's not
I
to
don't know
say
who's categorizing these things though. What is what I really want to know, because intuition is like anything, like you know what I mean. Like I've been in the. I'll talk about this, but anyway, you ever been in the crowd and you just like, yo, you feel funny, like something's going on, like the way people moving right now ain't right.
Mhm.
I've been in that position. That's intuition, right? Does that mean
Right.
that's that ain't that's just my surroundings and knowing my surroundings?
Right.
I don't really,
So you was out there acting like a female.
No.
you
Being
know
all
what I
scared.
was? All of a
Man
sudden,
up.
my wrist went limp, right? My wrist went limp, right? And then I had to pull both my heels off just in case I had to run. You know what I mean?
No. So that's okay. So that's the thing. That's what society has done. It's like, oh, if you have this feminine energy, then you're probably, ooh, don't sue me for saying this. You're probably like gay or like feminized in a sense. But feminine is so much more than, oh, hey girl, or you wearing this or that, or you twitching your hips. That's not, no. We're talking about energy. We all possess feminine and masculine energies, and when you have a balance of both, you have clarity within yourself. So that's the only thing. This is a hard topic to bring up because of the way that society has tried to put feminine and masculine energy into a box. It's like, oh, if you're a woman, feminine. If you're a man, purely masculine. That's not the truth. We have both. So some men are logical and intuitive. Some women are logical and intuitive. It is having a balance of both energies. It's not to say that if you're dominant in one or the other, you have to act a certain way. No. Because most people that overdo the fake feminine, what I call the fake feminine, not feminine, they don't understand the energy. And
So let me ask you a question real quick. How you think that works in a relationship? If one, so if one is more dominant than the other, but vice versa, how do you think that works in a relationship?
One, I will say that you really have to cut out the noise, and you really have to hone into your relationship and what's going to work for you. Because if you try to fight what's natural in the dynamic, thank you, Damari, you're going to have a battle. So I'll give you an example. I actually have a boss of mine, and she is
masculine. She's masculine.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Yeah,
She's the
I know
breadwinner.
it.
She's a breadwinner, right?
She wears strap on when she go home.
This guy.
Thank you, B-More. Her husband, on the other hand, he stays home and take care of the children, right? So we also do stuff around the house, right? So in from a societal standpoint, that's kind of backwards or whatever. But at the same time, maybe he has more of the nurturing quality. She doesn't. There's nothing wrong with that. You possess both, but which one is your strength? Which one is your weakness? And that's what a relationship is all about. Understanding your strengths and weaknesses, finding your yin to your yang, just making it flow. Don't put any
I don't know if I agree with that example. Maybe she just make more money. Maybe so maybe it's because she makes more money, he can afford to stay home and take care of the kids. Maybe
And she
that's
said she actually
not
loves the
necessarily
job.
power struggle, but she was making more money when her career took off, or he was helping her get her career off or whatever, and she make more money, so he's staying home with the kids. I don't know. I don't necessarily see that as a feminine trait that because he's was put into that situation. He was
I
put
think
into this
I don't
situation
really
to be
know, but I think they agreed on it. She did say that she enjoyed working, like she actually loved her job, and so she was like, I can't be true to myself if I was to quit something I love to do to be a stay-at-home mom. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was saying maybe. Not a definitely, but a maybe. But the point is that on the outside looking in, people be like, "Oh, that's backwards," but it doesn't matter. It's about what y'all need to do to make sure that y'all flow, y'all being true to
right.
self, y'all have harmony, and that y'all are flowing. And I think that's just the truth of. But when we get into masculine and feminine, that's such a tough topic because of the way we've been indoctrinated about it. But this is just my little spiel. And it's also my perspective, and I definitely give full disclosure
now
on
we
that.
always
But
need
at
to
the end
dive
of the
into
day,
that.
huh?
We always need to dive into that. I feel like all the time we get to like 40 minutes, 50 minutes in, and we need to dive into
All
something
right,
that's
but check this
completely that
out.
needs more time.
So
So
I think we kind of touching on toxic masculinity in a way too.
okay.
We have toxic masculinity and femininity. And the way that I like to put that is that we are living in the imbalanced feminine and imbalanced masculine. Me personally, I believe that's what the whole story of Adam and Eve is about. We talk about the first sin, but I really believe it is the whatever happened that cause the kundalini energy, which is the divine feminine and masculine, to be at an imbalance. And that's why you have so many problems and issues in the world. Now, that's just a little spill, but we have toxicity on both sides. And it's because
Mm.
we're living and we're acting out the imbalanced feminine energy, the imbalanced masculine energy. And I mean, this is a whole thing. I love studying it because I'm just like, what I was taught ain't right, man. That's all.
Okay, so which one of us is too masculine or too feminine out of us?
Kind of
I
question.
Which
wouldn't
one?
be able to tell
I'm
that
just
right
I'm
off
just
the
trying
Man,
to
bat.
you
see which
sitting there with the tank top on. You got the tight tee. You
Say
know
this,
what I mean?
when
You
you
got the
say
shoulders out. You know what
masculine,
I'm saying? what's the
You're
shoulder?
showing your muscles.
I
I
just
mean,
I just
shoulders out
want
Monday.
I
What's
just
this?
want to see
Shoulders
what
out
she was
Monday.
gonna say. I just want to see what she's gonna say.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I really can't judge that, and also too, it really depends on the energy that you're with. Because I'll give you an example. I've been with an alpha male. I'm like alpha female, whatever they want to call it,
What,
whatever, more
what do
masculine.
you consider alpha male though?
Um, that's a good question.
Exactly, because some people consider alpha male somebody as
Let's make sure we ask both the ladies this question.
rah,
Yeah,
rah.
I definitely want to hear Nicole because we
For
never asked
sure.
her
Let's
this question
go.
before.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go with Nicole. Let me gather my
No,
thoughts.
no, no. Go ahead.
No,
You
no, you
Don't
hey, no,
don't
run
run.
it. Yeah,
Come
run
on,
that.
Cletus.
Let's go.
we're gonna go to Nicole. Let's go.
Come on, Cletus. Come on.
Come
Come
on,
on.
Cletus. Come on.
Um, how do I don't. That's a really good question. I don't think I ever thought about
To
that.
you.
I feel it.
To
Um,
you. To you.
I feel like an alpha male is one that really likes to take charge. One that is very like he's very passionate, very fiery. Like to get stuff done. He knows what he wants, and he's like, "Hey, this is what I want." He's more of the leader kind. You have, and then what some people call the beta male. Because I've actually been with both. So now I know both energies, but with the beta male, like he wasn't a leader. He was just kind of like, oh, you do whatever you want. He was more like, oh, I don't like to be confrontational, and I didn't like that because I was like, no, I'm not your mama. Like we're two people in a relationship. Like I really want your input. But a lot of times I just found out it was because I guess I was over his head, as he put it, and he just really didn't know how to talk about certain things, and that's fine. I was like, oh, let me slow down.
Because you're a Sapio. That's why.
So
That's why.
so so that's what I see. So like, but I've actually been with the alpha male, and I noticed that I tap more into my feminine energy for us to flow. Versus with the beta male, it was more I tapped into like alpha female to balance it out. So it's really all about the energy and how you just kind of fill each other out to flow. It's the whole dynamic. I hope I'm making sense.
Yeah,
It makes sense. Okay.
That makes sense. Nicole, what's the alpha
Cole?
to you? What's the alpha to you?
Um,
Not the alpha that on the college campus that dress in gold and black. Not those alphas.
no, not him.
No,
Oh.
not
We're
those
not
dudes.
talking about
Stepping
that.
Yeah, not those frat dudes. We're
I
not
love
talking about
it.
I would, cause see, I don't use those terms. I don't define
Okay.
men as alpha, beta, because when I see a man, I think of leader, priest, protector, provider. That's my
man.
thought process. Now, is everybody that? No.
Here we
You don't-
go.
Every man doesn't fit that bill. Don't do that. Don't do that. Every man doesn't fit that bill, but I can't say, oh, he's an alpha man. He's because I am attracted to those leaders. I'm attracted to a strong personality, a man that's that has a strong dominant personality. So I guess I don't know. I guess it would
That's the same thing. That's
yeah,
the same
I
thing.
guess I don't.
That's
I
the
don't
alpha that you're
but
explaining.
I've never sat and had a conversation and be like, oh, you're a beta male. You just, you just don't.
But you don't need to. So you basically explain that. So when you talk about the ones that you look for, what do you look for? So it seems as though you're explaining the alpha male. So when you say that and you think about that person, what do you think about that person being? If you would to put that in a description.
He has strong communication
Strong
skills.
personality.
He's able, yeah, he has a strong personality, strong communication skills, consistency, is a must. There's somewhat analytical, but mostly logical, like in the ability to, be able to
Reason.
to this lead, just
Okay.
I'm not saying tell me what to do because I have my own mind, I have my own opinions. I'm very capable.
Troy got something to say. Look,
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying, you're the leader. So we have this discussion and you're like, all right, let's go forth. Then bam, that's what we do. We go forth. I
okay.
don't.
That's kind of funny because I feel as though us three, we talked about it before. And I want to say that all three of us feel like what they explain is completely different than what we call the alpha or beta male. But
So
Troy,
what do y'all call it?
you look like you had something to say. Let me hear it.
Well, I
Big
just
bro.
wanted to.
Big bro.
All right, so confessions about Cole. Me and you are dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Man, maybe you consider me the alpha, right?
Okay.
You want me to take control, take the lead, blah 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 blah. What you going to do in a relationship? Like, what you going to do to keep me interested if I'm taking the lead and I'm doing all the leading? Where you come at to keep me interested?
Well, I'm the nurturer. I'm the feminine woman. I am the giver. I am the nurturer, the lover, the romance or the
So you're saying
That's what
you're saying you become submissive, right?
Right. That's
Yeah.
where I was getting to. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's where I was getting to.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
But I am gonna say one thing. I never know what I want to eat. So if we going out, just make sure. That's leadership skills. Just already know where we going and what I I can adapt to my surroundings. I'm gonna
That's a
pick
problem
something,
across America.
but I don't
Yeah.
know what I'm gonna eat. So I'm telling you that right now. That's
So
one decision you will have to make on your own, Mel.
so question, Cancer, are you submissive?
I am, but I also believe that in our own way we
Uh-oh.
need to submit to each other. I do not agree with the Christian ideology of head of household. I think that we both need to be the head of the household because we both bring qualities to the table that help us make a final decision. Because yeah, the man, okay, even if the man like carries it out, I'm like, we both need to submit to each other because if he's just a leader and I'm always submitting, then am I really truly getting what it is that I need out of the relationship? Am I being true to self? So I feel like there needs to be mutual respect and honor, communication, and submission in order to really have that harmony. Because I don't want to look at it from an egotistical point of view. Like, oh yeah, you submit to me, I'm the leader. Oh yeah, that mean I'm her man. No. Okay, you my
I
man, but
don't think that is.
I don't think I don't think it means that either.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but yeah, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, only reason I'm saying that is because you definitely mentioned the Bible when you said it came to the Bible, but the Bible definitely depicts something where there really is a balance, right? Because when it talks about a woman submitting, what it also talks about is that husband loving the wife as much as what Jesus loved the church or whatever. I believe it's something like that. But basically, what that entails is if you love a person, if you're in charge of them, you're gonna do everything in your power to make sure that that person is treated well. That's that perfect balance.
So you said a key word, and this is why I don't agree with that ideology. I don't believe that the man is in charge of the woman. I don't believe that the woman is in charge of the man. You are your own person.
Okay.
And with that being, because to me, what that illustrates is a master slave dynamic or a parent child dynamic. I'm not in charge of my man. My man is not in charge of me. And I think that goes back to Nicole, like where she's like, "Oh, hey, I love a man with a strong personality, but that don't mean that you get to tell me what I need to do." So it's funny. Wordplay is very, very, very important here, because every word has a connotation, yeah, okay, you submit to your husband and he'll love you, and so like that. But is that loving also a form of submission to her? What does submission really mean? And I think
I
that I'm
think
still exploring that.
I think it I think it I think that's where people kind of get it misconstrued. Like you do submit to one another, and I think it's more
It actually
compromise. Right, it's more compromise than it is control. So,
Exactly.
so you're not controlling one another. I'm not telling you what to do, how to act, how to raise. It's not that, but more so compromise. This works for us. This we this is our dynamic and this works for us. I feel like people who submit do it naturally. It's something that's naturally done. Nobody has to go around saying, "Oh, I'm submissive. I'm going to be, I'm the submissive." No, it's a natural instinct to do it, and most women do it and not realize that they're doing it.
Right.
It's just a
One question. If you're in a relationship, both of y'all disagree, right? Who has the final say? If both of y'all equal, right? Both of y'all
I don't want to
disagree
say equal now. Wait a minute.
Huh? You didn't say
I
equal?
would say equal. Yeah, no. I wouldn't
So then
say-
what are we saying here? Somebody has to have the power command at some point, whether it's the female, whether it's the male. I know it works different ways. Don't get me wrong, but it kind of seemed like you were saying this harmonious thing where both of y'all have control at the same time. And if that's the case, I just want to know when both of y'all disagree, y'all can't come to heads, y'all done talked about it, y'all done reasoned with each other, y'all done did everything y'all could do, right? And y'all at an impasse. Who has the final say?
What's the best
One, I
option for
wouldn't
our
say
home?
control. I would say that both contribute. And to be honest with you, sometimes you just have to agree to disagree and do your own thing. And the reason why I'm saying it like this because that has been my personal experience. When me and my ex we would go to counseling or we would talk it out and we just couldn't come to like a decision. It was like, okay, you, you do me, we'll revisit this because it's gonna come up again. But sometimes you just need some time alone or you just kind of need to do your own thing so that things can kind of settle and you can have an experience that will bring things full circle. So I wouldn't say both controlling, I would say both contribute. And that's just my biggest thing because I'm trying to look at things outside of the ego. And with ego, it's like power struggle, it's control, it is who is the leader, who is not. It's like no, you to flow, you really just have to really look at what each bring to the table. So you both contribute, but there's times that you're going to agree to disagree, and know that does not give you the ground to step outside and do some crazy stuff. It just means that we need to revisit it another time.
But at that point, when we're at an impasse, that at that point, that's when compromise comes in. What's the best
But
solution for
what about when you
our
compromise?
situation?
Because I've been in those positions where it's like we ain't compromised.
But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is you're completely at an impasse. There are moments where you just don't agree. One is this way, one is the other way. And that's what I'm talking about. Which way do you go? Something has to happen.
Somebody has to.
Do you just
Somebody has
end
to give
the
in. Somebody has
relationship
to.
completely? Or it has to go somebody's way?
I think
Somebody has
that
to give in.
I think that it comes to a point where it's just like,
That's
you know what, you got this one. Somebody has to give in, and it can
exactly.
go
I
either
just
way.
kind of let it linger until
That's
there's
unhealthy.
another resolution.
That's
Till it go
unhealthy.
away.
I'm not gonna lie.
From somebody that is like, oh, mental and everything, you let it linger, that ain't the right way. You know it.
I mean, but is it? Because the thing is that you have to be careful with compromise. I know that sometimes one person can compromise to the point where they are unhappy. So this is where it comes back
True.
into nobody controls the other person. Like, yes, I'm very mental. At the same time, I know how to choose my battles, but it doesn't mean I'm just gonna give in.
This dude, man, I swear.
So he just going to the side chick.
To step outside and do something crazy.
He's just for the side chick. Like, what you think? Like,
I just think that sometimes some things just kind of need to linger until you can revisit it. You have to be careful with compromise, and if you are compromising to the point where
You
there's
lose yourself.
imbalance, then
but
and I'm
that's where the alpha mentality comes in for me because if we are together, right? And
Okay.
you are the alpha male.
Run that. Let's go.
You are the alpha male, right?
Uh-huh.
And I am the submissive wife.
Uh-huh.
You're not going to allow the situation to get to the point where I'm compromising myself for a decision that might not be the best thing for our family.
Preach.
So so if you, like I said, if we're there's going to be a compromise, but it's never going to be a compromise where I'm losing myself, where I'm the only one giving all the time, and I'm the only one having to take a L, or I'm the only one having to. No, it's not going to work like that because we're in this situation. You're the alpha male. You're the priest, the protector, the provider of our home, and I'm this submissive wife. There's never going, because I'm not submissive to the point that I'm losing myself in this situation. I'm
Well,
not.
not just that. I would think that, and this is where we talk about that perfect balance, right? That person that's involved with you wouldn't want that, wouldn't allow that. When he makes that decision, when y'all at an impasse, it's not because he's doing it because just for ego. Somebody that's really in that, like I said, that perfect balance, they're doing it because they really feel as though it's best, right? And if they're wrong, the first thing they're going to do is fix it.
So be more. Put yourself in that same position. You get into an argument with your girl.
Yeah.
Y'all at that impasse, and
Mhm.
she ain't backing down.
Okay.
What you gonna do?
I think it really depends on what it is. I think it depends on what it is. But what's crazy about that is I kind of feel what Cancer Mystique is saying. Everybody's their own person. I'm not in charge of you. I really believe that. You're an adult. I don't own you. You're your own person. I do what I want, you do what you want. Ultimately, at the end of everything, you can love me to the wits end, but ultimately you're gonna do what you want to do, and vice versa. And you have to take people for that.
David.
And that's it. And,
Right.
and that's kind of how I feel about that.
Like I said, I think it depends on what it is. Now you come to me talking about I need to take $20,000 out the savings account because I want to buy, I want to put a payment down
on my Harley.
You got 20. Let me hold some.
No, I'm not saying that. That's an example. Because see, our divine path has taken us on this route where we got $20,000 in our savings account. See how that works? See how those ties are together? So we got 20,000 in the account, right? So you come to me, babe, I need to take 20,000 out the account. I'm gonna put a down payment on the Maserati. My payment's gonna be $1,200 a month. No, I can't compromise on that. I'm not doing it.
Why not? Why not? I'm getting close to that midlife crisis.
Why not?
Why not?
First of all, we have kids. You can get a minivan.
Babe, this is what I would say. I'll say, babe, I'm getting close to midlife crisis. I need that Maserati.
You know what I mean?
He said I need Maserati or a hall pass.
Yeah, one or the other. I need one of them. I need one of them.
One or the other.
Then at this point, I'm like, you gotta just do you. But if I don't agree with that, especially the hall pass, if I don't agree with that, then maybe let's go our separate ways. Yeah. Maybe it's just best we go our separate ways. Maybe a little hall pass.
Wow.
We're gonna have that one later.
Hold up, this is our destiny. We supposed to be together, so you gotta just do that.
That's the order. Ordered. What you doing?
To be honest, I have a whole different perspective about that.
About like soulmates, you talking about?
Yeah, because soulmates can be friends, family, lovers. Same thing with if you believe in twin flames or karmics, whatever. But the point is that I never want to be in a commitment to the point where, how do I say this? I never want to be in a commitment to the point where, if somebody is doing something that I just totally don't agree with, I don't see it as it just goes against my whole integrity or my whole just the way I'm wired, then I'm I'm not gonna force you. I'm not gonna tell you not to do it. Maybe it's just best I go and you can live your life. I'm very hey, if we come together, we do great things, that's fine. Who knows? Divine purpose might be that you need to split up. I know a lot of people that staying together that ain't happy. For what? Because they're married? Because they don't believe in divorce? Why? Get out. Be happy. Go get on with yours. No. So it depends. It really depends. But I'm talking about something that's just fundamentally that just goes against my beliefs. I'm just that's your perspective. This is my perspective, and maybe it's just best we go our separate ways. I'm not talking about over nothing petty. I'm talking about just you this is what I need. This is my divine design. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like, just go. I want you to be happy. I'm not gonna try to force you to fit my
Into your
ideology of,
right?
whatever.
So, yo,
Mm.
Troy, you believe?
Troy,
Troy, you believe in soulmates?
Yeah. Oh, look at Still. Hey, Still.
Hey, yo, yeah. Hey, yo, still answer that question for me, homie.
He like still gonna say which one?
Yo, so that's a question. I think we spoke about that before in our earlier joints, but
Yeah, I think we did.
Do y'all
I'm
believe
all
it?
about flowing. I just
Well,
want to.
How about you, Nicole?
I mean, I believe there's somebody for everybody. I believe.
But is that a soulmate though? Just because
I
it's somebody
don't.
for everybody, is that a soulmate?
I, I don't know if it's. I believe in energy. I believe people who are their energies match and they are just perfect together. So I guess that would be their soulmate. I guess.
Hey, my man still says, if I have a soul and she has a soul, so let's make.
What if she's soulless? Soulless people walking around here. What if she's soulless?
Nah, everybody got a soul. They might not be attached to it as well as they need to be, but they got that joint.
I believe in soulmates, but I think they come in different forms. Because I know I've had friends that are soulmates. I don't think I've had a love as a soulmate yet. There were things that I needed to learn, so I attracted a different kind of energy. But
Can we define what a soulmate is? Like to you, what do you feel that?
So a soulmate to me is somebody who share my same energy. Somebody who I just really like. How to say, like somebody who I just like. We're just very compatible, and just because you're compatible, don't mean that you're supposed to be together.
True.
So it's like you're cut from the same cloth. Like you probably have a lot of the same journey. You probably have a lot of the same like maybe childhood instances or experiences that made you the person that you are. That's what I see as a soulmate. Because I know I have family that are soulmates. Like, oh my gosh, we can't get enough of each other. It's just nothing but love. I've had friends, especially guy friends, soulmates, never was meant to be together. And it's just somebody who you really have a true companionship with.
So I got a
So
question.
mm-hmm,
I got a question. Speaking of male friends and stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
since we got two females on the set, have you ever had male friends that you knew liked you, like was really into you, and you still kept them around?
Because he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
He ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. It depends on who it is. It depends on who we talking about.
It's just true.
Some,
That's true.
some don't stay.
Yes.
Yes.
To be honest, it really depends on the person. I know from experience, I've had a guy friend that he was into me and I wasn't feeling him like that. And so we sat down and we had a talk. And I was very honest. I was like, I don't want to invalidate your feelings, but we need to set boundaries because I don't want to just be being a friend to you and you think I'm leading you on. This is without sex or nothing like that.
Yeah.
Like we're adults, let's communicate about this. And then I've also had a guy friend who was so we was able to set boundaries and be friends. And eventually he found this a beautiful woman and they're in love, right? But I've had some where they couldn't respect the boundaries. So everything I did, I was still being my same self, and this is without sex involved. They took it as, ooh, just one day. And I'm like, okay, ooh, nah, I got an exit stage left. See you later. Because and then it's also been on my end. There was a guy friend of mine that I just absolutely loved. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I was like, we gonna be together. We gonna be together. But we came together and had that talk. And because I appreciated him so much as a friend, I took my crush on him or my extra feelings as this is something that I need to kind of work within myself because I really want to have him around. So I'm not going to be selfish and project my feelings onto him.
Yeah.
See me as a friend, I respect that. And so I'm like, you know what? hey, I'm gonna deal with that over here. I need to let that go, and we're still good friends to this day. Um,
Okay.
so it's really about respecting the other person, not projecting, and also to setting boundaries. But I know that with a lot of my guy friends, it is non-sexual, and I love it that way. I'm like, no,
So they don't flirt at all with you at all?
I have one. He do flirt, but
And
I think it's a healthy flirt
okay. So question: do you flirt back?
in my own way.
See what I'm
Oh,
saying? See what I'm saying? See?
But okay, but let's
okay,
wait.
See?
Okay, when we talk about flirt, what do you mean?
See?
Like my flirting is
okay.
like, you'll be like, "Hey, sweetheart," and I'll be like, "Hey, honey, baby, sugar lamb chops." Like that's my flirting. It's harmless.
Lamb chops,
Yep.
not pork chops.
No, pork and fat. No, just that. I like
Okay.
the
Okay. So Nicole, it sounds like you let them linger. So
Yup.
Yeah.
Look, the guilty
For
face.
sure, for sure,
Guilty
shawty.
face. Look.
so you've had these these male friends that you're probably not interested in, obviously,
Nope.
but you let them linger.
All the time.
Why?
Why you doing that?
Because I don't like to hurt people's feelings.
Mm.
I don't. I'm one of the. First of all, I flirt with everybody. I'm a natural flirt. That doesn't mean I want you. I flirt with everybody.
So question, you guys, you're old enough. I know you understand men, and you understand that once you open the door to flirting to a man, it opens his mind to other things with you. So you know you're playing. You're open, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I
What do you
was.
say?
That's on the man. That's not on us. That's why I'm talking about setting boundaries.
Okay.
Just because I flirt with you don't mean she want to have sex with you. Don't mean she want to go out with you. You know what I'm saying? That's just like me. If a man flirt with me or he gives me a compliment, I'm like, oh, thank you, and I take it for what it is. I'm not like, oh, he gave me a compliment. Oh, he must want my number.
I think it depends on who that's coming from, though, because I think we've all been in positions where you out somewhere and somebody says, "Hey, you look nice today," or whatever the case may be. That's just a compliment. That's all that is. You know what I mean? But when you're hearing that from somebody that you're close to in some form, whether it's somebody that you see on a regular, a coworker, you know what I mean, like somebody that you're around, you know what I mean, like your friends, girlfriend's friend, you know what I mean, something like that. It means a little more because you see them more often. So
Does
if they
it?
see it, they know.
Does it? Is it? Or are we assuming? Are we assuming because I say, hey,
No.
you look nice
I'm
today,
talking about a man. I'm talking about a man to a man. That's what we're talking about, right?
But that's
Female,
still
but-
assuming. You're still assuming because I see you every day and I tell you you look nice that I want you. That's assumptions. I know.
All of this is an assumption.
You look nice. You look nice.
All of that is an assumption. I'm just saying where men. We talking about where men take it.
Yeah,
That was the whole thing. That was what we're talking about.
No, where men take it.
Females, where y'all females go, right? And how y'all keep men and how men take it. That's the whole thing we talking about.
Okay, so let me ask this question. Okay, so you said, so basically you're talking about a female or a woman, let me say woman, a woman who you have a connection with, like y'all built some kind of connection.
Mm-hmm.
And you flirt and she flirts back. And now your mind is like,
it's on.
This is right.
Yeah.
But
95% of the dudes is on. It's on.
No, there's no middle. There's no middle in this. Men are trying to get in the middle. I'm just saying.
I'm like, why does it happen that way? Because for me, like, if I was to flirt with somebody and they flirt back, I just take it as, okay, it was a flirt. I'm not like, oh snap, I'm about to jump on it. I'm about to give him this whop.
The what? Are you talking about worship and praise? Is that what you're talking about?
Worship and praise.
Okay.
Yeah, it is worship and praise. Best believe it.
So, that's my thing. Like, you have to set boundaries because at the end of the day, it's like, for me, especially with Black men, the whole world has hypersexualized y'all. So just because you flirt with me, I'm not gonna let my mind go all these different routes because you're a human. Now, if we need to have a conversation. You flirt with me, I flirt with you. What's up? You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to be direct. It's like indirectly trying to see if a girl is into you. Why not just step up to shawty and be like, "What's up?" Like,
because you might be like nothing.
Here we go.
Yup.
Nothing.
You giving us a runaround. You playing a game.
But that's the thing. I'm like, your mind is going all over the place, but that's not on us. All we did was give you a response. Now, right? All we did was give a response.
You just said it was both of us. You just said it was both of us. We getting back and forth at each other.
But
if you don't tell me what's the deal, I'm not assuming anything. I'm not assuming that.
Well, you're not gonna assume nothing.
No,
you don't
tell. You have to tell me. Like, look, Nicole, I like you. I want to go out with you. You know, you have to.
I see you, right?
Yo, that's a lot of work.
Yeah,
that's too much work.
Exactly.
I'm a
Cole, too much work.
I see you. I see you out. We know each other. I'll come up to you and put my hand on your neck. What?
Why you touching me?
What's your assumption? I'm just trying to figure out what's your assumption then.
What do you mean you put your hand on my? You walk up to me like, hey, how you doing?
I know you. Just.
I'm not gonna assume anything. You know me. You're not gonna do. You just gonna give you a hug. You know, and
you just gonna assume that I'm chilling. Like, yo, we cool. Like, yeah, it's regular. That was regular.
I'm gonna say I'm probably out because I'm very big on personal space. I don't care how much I know a guy. I won't even just walk up and hug him. I'll be like, hey, can I have a hug? Like, I'm very body conscious. Don't just be
walking. If you buy her a drink after you done choked her, you buy her a drink, she gotta give it up now. You walked up to her, you choked her, now you done bought her a shot, now she gotta give it up.
No, that ain't what I'm saying. All I'm saying is everything ain't regular. Everything ain't regular.
Sounds like foreplay to me.
You know what I'm saying? There has to be something that you know without saying plainly. But you can say plainly just with your eyes or with your body language. With certain things that you can say. You don't need to actually, you know what I mean, say that out your mouth. Everybody
complicated. Nicole, aren't you also a Cancer?
I am.
Okay. So every woman is different. And let me say this, let me say this. Every woman is different and we communicate differently. That's why you got the whole Me Too movement going on. Because it was some body language and somebody misunderstood it and boom, bam, 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 and now everybody rapists and stuff. You need to have conversation. We are
just raping.
I did it flipping in the flop.
Because that's true. Because how many times have you heard somebody say, "Oh, okay, well, I flirted with her. She flirted with me, so I know she want me." And then they pursue her. She like, "Whoa, back up! I don't want you like that." We are adults. We're not 16, 17, 10, 11 in kindergarten kissing all the boys. Am I telling on myself? We are adults. We have to have a conversation. It's not about it being too hard work. We have to have a conversation. Like Nicole,
you know what? That's the same scenario. The scenario you're giving is the same scenario that you men complain about when you hold the door and the girl might say, or you say good morning. Like you see a girl and you be like good morning, and she be like, why you talking to me? I don't want to talk to you. Why you try and holler at me? That y'all complain about that, but that's the same thing you just said. You walked up to me and now and I said hello, and now you trying to get me in the bed. That's the same scenario.
You think that I want you in that way? I don't think
how's that the same?
Yeah, where
you go there?
How's that the same? It is. You think I want you more than
oh man.
Because
I assumed that you wanted me, just like you assumed that I wanted you.
people can assume all they want, you know what I mean? But that don't mean that's what's real. That ain't even what I'm
You
talking
said
about.
it body language, and I'm saying to you, no, you got to come out your mouth and be like, "Hey, girl."
Now you don't have to do that.
Sorry.
Mr. Still, I tell you.
He is he's a gem, ain't he?
Yeah, but he's keeping it real. He says
Yeah,
he's a friend of single woman. That means he's patiently waiting until she lets him in to get her cookie jar. And
Hey
that's
man.
a lot of men are like that.
Hey
I
man.
just
So when you get the cookies, you not have friend no more. Is that what you're saying? When you get-
No, they still friends because they still waiting to
Oh.
get the cookie. They gonna wait for years.
That ain't
always the promised land. I just
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So the woman that you befriended, you're patiently waiting for the cookie. But the woman that you're not friends with, you patiently waiting for the cookie. Is that what he just said?
At the end of the day, he's always waiting for the cookie.
He's always waiting. He's
So it
like
don't
a he's
matter.
like he's like a lion. He's like a lion in the weeds, just waiting to pounce. That's what he is. It doesn't
What happens
matter.
after you get the cookie?
But
It doesn't
But-
matter if it's a giraffe. It doesn't matter if it's a deer. It doesn't matter. He's waiting. You don't
So
care.
what do you do afterwards? You just ghost her? Like you don't talk to her no more because you got what you wanted? Like
Well,
is that?
it depends on how how the jar is. You know what I'm saying?
Well, this might not be upfront because being upfront and being honest gives you options. So
It
if
really
you are
does.
upfront
Yeah,
up,
absolutely.
hey, I just want
No,
to
no.
give
No, it does
you
give you
never
options.
know, y'all. I
Well,
say
it
this all
depends
the
on what
time.
we're talking about being upfront and being honest. It depends. It depends because you can be upfront and honest from the gate, right? And sometimes it's gonna work, and sometimes it just ain't. Some people you
that's
gotta
fine.
finesse. Some people you gotta finesse. Some people you don't. We all know that as men. You know what I mean?
I feel like
Nah,
when we talk. I'm sorry. When we talk about being upfront and honest, I think that first you have to be that with yourself. Because whatever you want is out there. Like if I'm a more of a commitment type chick and you like, oh, I just want to play the field, then I'm gonna be like, hey, I got to stay honest with myself. I really want commitment. But guess what? There's a lot of women out there that'll give you what
true.
you want.
But
You
it
can play.
don't work the way you saying. It don't. I'm telling you
No,
that for a fact.
I'm
It
sorry.
don't work that way. It don't work that way.
Oh,
Like, what are the chances of you running into somebody that's willing to do whatever it is that you want all the time? It just don't work like that. It sounds good.
mm-hmm.
It sounds good.
But you give her
But
that
But I've
option.
seen it work
You
that
give
way.
her
So
that
I'm
option.
confused.
You give
What?
her that option. You give it an option. Like that you know what I say. You never know. I could be with the shits that day. You never know. So if you
Man,
are open and upfront and you give me that yes or no option, I have the
come
choice.
on.
I have a choice. Don't put me in the trick bag. Don't do that. Don't put me in the trick bag. Give me the option to say yes or no. Yeah, I'm with it today. Come
That
on.
dude, that ain't what we talking about though. What she said
Listen.
was this: you being honest, truthful from the gate. It's people out there that's willing to do what you do. Yeah, it is. What is the percentage of that?
You
What's the
just gotta
percentage?
narrow it down. You gotta
What's
narrow it down till you find it.
Come on, man. What I'm supposed to do? Talk to 200, 2,000 different people just to find that 1%?
Hey, you better walk around that bar and put your hand around
Yeah,
everybody's
I
neck.
got time for that. Whatever. What y'all talking
Down
about?
in your back.
Y'all watch too many movies. Y'all been watching Disney movies all y'all life, man. Get out of here.
Oh man, I tell
Hey,
you
I
what
do
though.
believe in law of attraction. That's not Disney movies, but I mean, at the end of the day,
No, what you're talking is a Disney movie. You said what you want is out there to be truthful from the gate. That ain't out there.
I've
I'm
seen
sorry
it.
to tell
So,
you.
the only reason why I'm saying that is because I've seen it. I've seen my male friends that they went after girls she wasn't on the same page, and they found girls that was on the same page, and they probably it been 10, 20 years now, and they still getting, they doing what they do. It's out there. It's out there. It really is. It's out there. But
Okay.
just be honest with people. Don't and that goes back to the whole flirting thing. Just because you flirt me and I flirt, especially if you have people that's natural flirts, just because they flirt back don't mean they want you. And you could know in each other
Yes,
for
you
years.
do.
Have a conversation. That's just like for me.
Yes, you
I've
do.
had I've had men in my life and they was like, "Ooh, I've been wanting to have sex with you," but I'm like, well, I didn't know we never sat down and had a conversation. Because for me to feel to feel comfortable to be
He's
able
saying
to.
it now. He's
So-
saying it now.
So fellas, have y'all ever flirted with a female that you didn't want?
Oh, that's a good
Um, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because she
Why?
thinks she won her. Why?
Not necessarily. Women don't think like that. It's completely different. But
Okay.
some people are natural flirts. I'm a
I
natural.
give up.
I am too. It's just
Okay.
it's just in my personality to do it.
Yeah.
Um,
So, I don't mean to do it. It just happens.
Yeah.
I understand. I understand.
You don't mean to stretch them out. It just happened. I
It just
feel you.
happens. You
I
know,
feel you, Big T.
it just
Wow. Okay. Well,
so that's why you have to be careful, because if you're a natural flirt, then you want to make sure that you're not giving off false communication, or you're attracting somebody that's needy.
I don't gotta be careful because it don't go nowhere after that.
Facts.
You know what I mean? It don't
Why
go
not?
nowhere after that. It's a wrap.
Fact.
Like I ain't never had nobody sitting in the winds like, oh, I can't wait. I ain't never had that. But
Never?
women have that all the
Never?
time.
I have.
Well, bro, I'm not you.
Oh, okay. But I'm just
Yeah,
saying.
exactly.
Yeah, but I'm
I'm
just
not
saying,
Jay
like-
Lee, the damager. You know what I mean? I'm not you, brother.
I'm just saying, like, you never had somebody. Okay, all right, never mind.
Nah, bro.
But-
No, bro. That's you.
No.
That's you in Detroit. Y'all the one.
Hey, man, keep my name out of it, man. Why you gotta put my name in it?
Communication. I'm
That's
sorry.
not me.
I just want to communicate, because at the end of the day, we're all human and we're all people, and we all have thoughts and beliefs and certain things we want to fulfill. And I'm just like, I don't have time to be reading your body language, and then when I charge you up about your body language, all of a sudden, oh no, that ain't what I'm doing. Let's just communicate.
All right,
Communication
sure.
is definitely key.
Okay.
I'm
Sure.
about to let me communicate this. It's been an hour and 35 minutes, 36 minutes. So we'll
Loved
end it-
every minute. Loved
yeah,
every
love
minute.
every minute, every minute. We'll definitely end it on that. It was very nice to have the ladies on there. Confections, please shout out your thing one more time so the people know what you're doing out there, please.
Well, it was always a pleasure. As always, I enjoy talking to you guys. Confections by Cole. Just hit me up, Maryland. I can't do that. Maryland, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, DC. That East Coast corridor. Shipping coming soon. So just
Sweet.
hit me up.
There we go. Definitely hit her up on the gram, hit her up on Facebook. The food is good, cookies are good. I'm definitely gonna get some juices.
The cookies are good. The cookies are good.
Cookies are great.
We just talked about the
I'm gonna leave.
We've been talking about cookies all
I'm
day.
gonna leave that alone. I'm gonna leave that alone if I get in trouble.
We was just
I'm
talking
gonna leave it alone if I get in
and
trouble.
here y'all go.
I'm gonna leave that alone if I get in trouble.
I can speak with my own cookies. The
Was
cookies are great.
that unlimited?
If I don't eat my cookies, nobody else will.
Man,
Wait, Nicole, do you make cookie jars, like cake jars? Can you make a cookie jar? We need to send one to Damari for him.
Yo, we can hold it. I got it.
facts. Miss Cancer, what you got going on? Let us know what's going on. You got anything going on? You got anything you got something we need to read? You got something going on?
I'm just encouraging people to learn about stocks and investing. It's time to build generational wealth.
I want to do a whole podcast episode on that, definitely.
Oh, perfect. Please.
Yeah.
That's currently what I'm working on. I'm also encouraging people, please tap into your spirituality. Find out. It doesn't mean that you have to be in a particular religion, but make sure you get to know you. And also too, I'm encouraging people to look into entrepreneurship, because like I said before the show, this 9 to 5 is for the birds, and you give the best of yourself to someone, make them rich, and at the end of the day, you got to work at Walmart as a door greeter because your social security check ain't that much, and most of us ain't got no damn pension. So look into diversifying your income. Also too, Black Panther, be free financially, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally. Just be free. Let it flow.
There we go.
Don't
And we'll,
go. I'm done.
yeah, we'll wrap it up with that. Last word about Miss Cancer right there. Everybody, hey, check us out definitely on our Facebook, on our Instagram, and that's it. We'll get at y'all next time.
All
Peace.
right. Good night.
Good night. Good night.